we're looking at equivalent fractions. Well, what do we mean by equivalent fractions? We mean things such as a half is worth the same as 2/4. Those are equivalent fractions. So if we look at a picture of a cake, very simple cake, half a cake, this much, half a cake is the same thing as 2/4 of the cake. A half and 2/4 are equivalent. We could have a half, and we could have 3/6 of a cake. So here's another cake, half the cake, this side's half, or that side, but we'll take this side, it's half the cake. Now split the cake into 6 pieces that are supposed to be equal, but my sketching is not very good. 1, 2, 3, 3/6, same thing as a half. So they are equivalent fractions. Here's another one. We could split these 4/4 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 eighths. And you can see that a half is the same thing as 4/8. 1, 2, 3, 4. But of course we don't want to draw cakes all the time. So the clue is to look at the relationship between the numbers. And you can see that actually the top and the bottom of this fraction, that's the numerator and the denominator, can be multiplied by 4, and that gives us the equivalent. So in fact, without drawing at all, we could take any fraction we like how about 3/4, and I'll say I want an equivalent fraction. Well, I don't know, I could multiply top and bottom by 2. 3/4 is the same thing as 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 2 is 8. 3/4 is the same amount as 6/8. Those are equivalent fractions, and they work because we've done the same to the numerator and the denominator. We've multiplied by 2. So if ever you need to find an equivalent fraction, you need to multiply the top and the bottom of the fraction by the same amount. Or you could divide the top and the bottom by the same amount. But that's normally what we call simplifying fractions, where we're simplifying them to find an equivalent, which is easier to look at. There we are, equivalent fractions.